here, and here we are. Finally, first day in the new digs. Good morning, Long Island, live from the America First Media Campus in our new digs, our new location, and things are going to look a little different behind us, but I like this. This is episode 57 of We Will Not Comply on day number 701 of 15 days to slow the spread. Say hello.
Good morning, my neighbors. We are here in the new space. We're building it out. It's life is good.
Oh, man, I like
life
this.
Life is good over here. Sean's back from Florida.
Oh.
We're done moving the office, so we have a lot going on over here.
Oh, a lot of work to do.
The only person with more things going on than us is Mr. John Durham.
Oh, my goodness. And John Durham has entered the chat. This has been something that let me throw a bunch of names at you with congratulations, and I know how it feels, but it's a big deal, okay? Dan Bongino, Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, John Solomon, the Epic Times, Brian Cates, guys like Dan Chayton in the Washington Examiner, Margot Cleveland, Sean Davis over at the Federalist, all those guys and gals, and there are probably plenty more that I'm forgetting about. I'm sure there are Paul Sperry at the Post and all of that. It's been a long, long, long time. I first got on and interested in Spygate in 2018. That was the one thing that really, I'm sitting on the Tappan Zee Bridge, and they didn't want it to be called the Tappan Zee Bridge then either, but it was the Tappan Zee. It was still the old Tappan Zee too. And I was going upstate for Memorial Day weekend, had nothing to do. Nothing to do. I was like, I'm sitting in traffic. It's awful. And I started listening to Dan Bongino, and this guy was going berserk about spying on Trump. And I'm like, this might, sounds like a conspiracy theory. But I knew he wasn't a conspiracy theorist. And sitting there, listening to that got so fired up. And that was really it. That was the first part when, the first thing I had realized was, wow, we really have to do something in this country. And one thing led to another, and now here we are, and we're doing something. It's been a very, very, very long time for a lot of people, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, and up until now, going through the BS Mueller probe, which you all knew were fake. You all knew the Mueller probe was garbage. Everybody knew it. You guys knew it. Those of you who were dialed into Spygate knew it. This is your moment now. It happened. They called you a conspiracy theorist for years and years and years. Yes, there was a conspiracy, but it is not a theory. It happened. And you guys are out in front of it. The Bonginos of the world, the real investigative reporters that are out there, and the citizen journalists, that were just diving in, doing the dirty work on Spygate. It's out there, and there is so much more coming. I'm finally confident that John Durham is not one of these people that is just going to get washed away. This is Jamie's probably, if she might be up, she might not be watching. Jamie Silvestri, president of the Huntington Young Republican Club, has been dialed into Spygate. She knows what I'm talking about. She'll be the first one to tell you.
Oh, she'll be the first one to tell you.
It's
absolutely. I like this shot.
Yeah, it looks
good.
good.
It's like I'm off to the side, but I'm looking at you, and
yeah, it's not too bad.
This ain't too bad. By the way, yes, Jen Roman, we hit it. We did it.
We did it. Day 700.
Day 701.
Yep, that is today.
Day 700. I got yelled at the Bayport, Blue Point, whatever the hell town.
How was that
called.
Yesterday?
It was quick. It was quick. They went over their budget proposals. That was exciting.
Okay.
But I got yelled at for not having a mask on, and then I giggled and kept walking because
Russell sent me a picture. Speaking of masks, Russell sent me a picture, and it was from Oceanside School District.
Elmer Spud.
Did you see what they did? They were doing a Spirit Day.
Spirit Day,
and they decided to show school spirit. The teachers would, just for a photo op, take off their masks and then put their masks back on. I guess just like the 75,000 fans at the Super Bowl, they were probably all just holding their breath.
All holding their breath. Yeah.
They were probably just holding their breath.
First off, Eric Garcetti. The worst thing to happen to Los Angeles since his father, Gil Garcetti, decided to put Marsha Clark on the OJ case because apparently that family is just what we can do. Let's take the city of Angeles and let's just destroy the whole thing. Let's just kill the whole thing.
It's kind of like what's going on in New York City. Eric Adams, he can't help himself.
Dude, Eric Adams
can't help himself. The guy can't help himself.
Look, like
he sucks.
Like 2 weeks ago, I said, I kind of feel bad for Eric Adams. You know, he inherited. You
did say
a
that.
real shitstorm. He inherited a real awful situation. But let me tell you, man, he's really not helping his cause any.
No.
He's really not helping his cause
No.
any. He's like, what did he say? He's like, the media reports don't impact my reality. Yeah, because you live in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Right.
That's why it doesn't impact your reality, you goon. And take your. Did you see the picture of the vegan food that they're going to be serving on Fridays? Oh man, it's
yeah.
like I don't. It's like zucchini mush. Ugh.
That sounds good.
You know what? At least that'll help out the local pizza place when all the kids leave school.
Listen, so like Eric Adams wants the entire city of the city that doesn't sleep to run on no meat. So I don't know what the hell.
Well, now it's the city that doesn't sleep because everyone's on crystal meth.
It's crackhead on the loose. Is a little Bob Menery. But yes, guys, I'm very there's a sense of relief now that's come about because of Spygate, because of everything that's coming on. And now it's time to, and I've made this declaration and I'll say it again, I speak for myself. I will not support any candidate who cannot come out and completely and comprehensively tell me what they're going to do about this. I will not do it.
Absolutely.
Because you want to talk about election integrity, it starts there. They tried in that 2016 election to do things to that election.
They did.
They came up with fake information. We know that the Clinton campaign paid for it. We know that Mark Elias is dirty. We know that Fusion GPS is dirty. We know that they hired Christopher Steele. We know that all of that is dirty. And no, it's not outside of our purview, Bob Mueller. That we know happened. We know the story now. We could follow the money trail. 3 books, Dan Bongino. Spygate, exonerated, follow the money. Boom. I think I might have just flipped off the camera. I'm sorry. But here's the deal, right? In 2016, they went in there, they dug up information, this opposition research, Christopher Steele's dossier, the FBI told the FISA courts that it was verified. We know today that that is a lie. It couldn't have been verified. How do we know that it couldn't have been verified? Because none of the information was real. So if none of the information was real, it's impossible for the information to have been verified to then give them the opportunity, the FISA courts, to open up warrants on American citizens, Carter Page, Paul Manafort, George Papadopoulos, and Donald Trump. Okay? There wasn't a FISA warrant on Trump, but they were getting his communications.
Moreover, they hacked into and listened to the conversations from the executive office.
That comment almost made me spit. Linda Archer McGregor, Velda Von Pantsuit needs to go to jail.
Oh my God. Velda Von Pantsuit.
I can't do it. Velda Von Pantsuit.
Yeah, no, look, first off,
I'm so sorry.
you can't tape the Oval Office.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Can you, first off,
EOP,
first off,
Executive Office of the President. Velda
First
Von
off, let's
Pantsuit,
just be
please.
clear, all right?
I'm so sorry.
and all the crap you heard about Donald Trump saying all this stuff in private, and what the hell's her name? The chick that was on The Apprentice.
I'm not sure. I don't remember who.
The lady.
Which lady? There's a lot of ladies
black
out
lady.
there. I don't know. On The Apprentice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I can't say her name. Someone in the chat will know about. She had tapes of Donald Trump saying all these different things.
Oh, Omarosa.
Omarosa.
Oh, she has the N-word tapes.
She's got the N-word tapes.
Yes,
you mean
yes,
to tell me
yes.
that if they were bugging the office of the President of the United States, that they wouldn't have Donald Trump saying all sorts of savage things?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I can't. First off,
There it is. Look at the chat.
Chat,
Oh, my
thank you.
goodness.
Wow, apparently you guys are far more on the ball than I am
man.
today. Holy crapola.
The chat's really killing it.
Guys, I got nowhere to point to right now, but make sure
Vanna.
you guys head on over to loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. We got something new coming out. And, guys, head on over to Loud Majority at loudmajority.locals.com. Last night I put up a flyer for all of our premium subscribers. A very special event coming up in Queens Village next month that you guys are not going to want to miss. You're going to have to be a premium subscriber for that. It's $5 a month, help support the movement. And we're going to be putting up the new shirt for CPAC up there later today.
Oh, I cannot wait.
The new
Finally.
CPAC shirt is going to be fantastic
And let me just say,
for anyone who's going and for anyone who's not going and wants to rep back down here. While we're down things are going to be going on up here. We got trucker rallies. A whole bunch of stuff is going on. As the weather gets nicer, things are going to get fired up, baby. Head on over, loudmajority.locals.com. Please subscribe. Help support the movement. It's $5 a month, but you guys are not going to want to miss this event. It's in Queens Village at one of the nicest wedding halls in Queens.
Oh, yeah.
And a friend of mine's going to be there.
Yes.
A dear friend of mine.
Dear friend.
A dear friend.
A dear friend.
You know what? You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
At the end of the show, I'm going to post a picture of this dear friend.
On Locals.
On public.
On public.
And then next week, I will release the information to get tickets to this event. But it'll be my dear friend. My dear friend.
Dear friend.
My dear friend, Jimmy O. Project Jimmy O.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down
Jimmy
the plains.
O at Project Truth.
Oh, there you go. And according to a very special person in the chat here, Lee Zeldin was endorsed by the Long Island.
We got to talk about that crap.
What's that? Oh, yes.
We got to. I got to talk about this.
Put a pause on Spygate for a moment.
Put a pause on this.
Yeah.
Anyone out there sharing this New York Post article about Lee Zeldin saying that we'd be better off with Cuomo as president? He said that in 2011 when Obama was president. Immediately following Hurricane...
No, it wasn't following. It was just before Hurricane Irene. Here's what happened: is if you want to share the article, I'm going to suggest doing something. It's called reading it. If you read the article, it tells you exactly what went behind the whole Lee Zeldin said Andrew Cuomo would be a great president. And not a great president. As a matter of fact, he said he would be a better president than the one that was currently in office. And in 2011, if I checked the way back interwebs machine, it was, Barack Obama. So does anybody disagree that in 2011, before Andrew Cuomo became a psychopath, right, and went down off the rails and started with these things, he would have made a better president maybe than Barack Obama? Maybe.
Not to mention that was right after Obama forced through Obamacare.
Yeah, right. He rammed it through.
Rammed through Obamacare. Nobody liked it. Nobody knew what was in the bill. At that point, anybody would have been a better president than Barack Obama.
Correct. And so he says at that point, Lee Zeldin had mentioned the leadership that was being displayed by Andrew Cuomo. And at that point, what had happened was Andrew Cuomo had suspended the saltwater fishing fee for commercial fishermen and recreational fishermen, I believe, which made essentially fishing in the ocean free. Okay, that's a good thing.
Wait, he made fishing in the ocean free?
Yes, Andrew Cuomo did that.
You mean nobody should have to... Nobody owns...
No.
The deeps?
No. Yeah. So the saltwater fishing...
On an island?
So the saltwater fishing permit was made free by Andrew Cuomo. We could all agree, I think, that that's a good thing. All right? He's a terrible guy. I don't like him. That's a good thing. Okay? So he makes the saltwater fishing license free. And Lee Zeldin makes the comment, by the way, in 2011, we're 11 years in the future now, okay, that it put $300,000 back into the hands of Long Islanders. And, you know, he's from the East End where there's a lot of fishing. It's one of the big industries out there, a lot of jobs. So Zeldin says that $300,000 are put back into the pockets of Long Island fishermen. And then he thanked Andrew Cuomo for doing that and says in the article, all politics aside, you may even make a better president than the one that's currently in office. Who is Barack Obama? So if you're going to share the New York Post article about Lee Zeldin being complimentary of Andrew Cuomo, please make sure you know you're sharing an article with information in it that is 11 years old, under completely different circumstances. And for anybody using the term rhino to describe Lee Zeldin, please understand this, okay? The man still voted to object to the results of the 2020 election after the Capitol was breached. Not a lot of people did that. He still was brave enough to say, I've got questions. Guys, this is not the battle you want here.
Yeah, and you know what? The bottom line is, and look, this drives me insane. The term rhino has a specific meaning. It's not a person once did a thing I don't like, therefore they are a rhino. You know, a Republican in name only. So he said one thing you don't like 11 years ago, and we're just going to completely ignore the last decade.
Right.
You know what I was doing 11 years ago? I was bouncing at a nightclub.
Yeah.
All right, you probably wouldn't have listened to me politically 11 years ago.
Probably not.
Probably wouldn't have listened to Sean 11 years. Hell, 11 years ago, you probably weren't even political. But meanwhile, this guy was up there fighting for the fishermen on the East End.
Yeah.
Doing what he had to do. So, you know, he's a rhino because he did this. Rhino has a specific meaning. It means you claim to be a Republican, but you are actually a corporatist.
Correct.
A Mitch McConnell, a Lindsey Graham.
Right.
These are rhinos.
Yes.
Okay? People that can't find a country on planet Earth that they wouldn't bomb tomorrow. That's a rhino.
That's a rhino.
A person who talks about the deficit when they're in the minority. And then once they're in the majority, they spend.
That's
they
a rhino.
auction off our children's futures. That's a rhino. That's not Lee Zeldin.
That's
So I'm
not
sick
Lee
and tired of hearing this crap. All right?
Yeah, there's
Sick and
no...
tired. Look, you want to disagree with a policy that he put forth? That's fine. Go right ahead.
That's fine.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. And I'm sure there are things that have been done that I disagree with. Okay?
Uh-huh.
But you know what? Like Ed Koch used to say, if you agree with me on 9 out of 12 things, vote for me.
That's right.
Because look, if there's a person out there who, and I don't know, even Donald Trump, there's things he did I didn't agree with.
Sure, same here.
You know, he didn't fire General Milley, who sucks. He didn't fire Anthony Fauci, who sucks. He didn't get rid of capital gains taxes, which suck. He didn't get rid of the estate tax, which affects him more than anyone else. There's no politician on planet Earth that I agree with 100%.
And not to mention, I mean, he also the spending under Donald Trump didn't get any better, and he should have had more influence over that.
So there's no
perfect person. The perfect candidate does not exist. And if you're waiting for that person, you're going to continue to wait. You're going to continue to complain, and nobody's ever going to be good enough.
Even the culture warriors that we like.
Right.
You know, like I said, I'm a huge Shapiro fan.
Right. But
a lot of things we don't agree on.
Sure.
I mean, look, he's very religious.
That's not you.
Not really.
Right.
You know, he's far more hawkish than I am. I'm far more hawkish than Sean is.
Right.
There's no one you're going to agree with 100% of the time. And I don't care. And you know what? If you do agree with someone 100% of the time, they're probably lying to you.
Yeah, or you need to think about maybe thinking for yourself, because we don't do worship the golden calf. What I will tell you, though, is that if you want to criticize Zeldin for those comments, you have to make sure you're doing it in the right context. And criticizing him for being happy that people didn't have to pay to go fishing on Long Island is a really silly criticism, and I'm not sure that's the battle that you want to fight. Listen, when you look at this, and I was just listening to Mark Levin last night, the great one, okay? Mark Levin, say what you want. That he's boring is fine. His voice is monotone. I get it. I happen to be entertained. I think he's good. But
Gray Wheels 19.
Right.
Rhinos have bottom surgeries.
Yes. But I was listening to Mark Levin last night, and he said, he was bringing up that, hey, he goes, there's a realistic shot that we take New York, the governorship. He said it. And then he asked, he goes, Mr. Producer, who did I endorse in New York? And the producer didn't, he answered in Mark's ear because he doesn't come on the air. And Mark says, Lee Zeldin. Lee Zeldin. And then he goes, you endorse your county whatever. I guess this producer's an Astorino fan, which is fine. Rob is a great
Rob's
man.
a great guy.
And I really think, he's...
I like Rob.
He would make it a good governor. I think he would do a lot of things that would make the state, better. But I don't know if he's 2022 material. I think Lee Zeldin is the right man, the best man for the job. Get this New York Post article out of there. It's complete. I'm going to use a term. Hogwash.
No, you know what it is? I'm going to use one. It is misinformation.
Yes, it is misinformation.
Facebook should flag it as lacking context.
Yeah, that's what they should do. Absolutely.
But, honestly, I don't know what to tell you. If that's what sways you, then, okay.
All right.
I guess vote for Kathy Hochul.
Right.
Because, whatever. What are you going to do?
Yep. That's just the only option.
I've run out of sentences
That's
here.
it. Sentences are gone. Look at the dusty hat. Wow.
How about that
I don't know what
nasty.
I did there.
It looks like but how about the fact? How about the fact that it turns out that BLM just kind of hates everyone?
Oh yeah. Well,
that it's not just about Republicans. A BLM activist in Louisville shot at a Democratic mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
Shot at him.
Yeah, and guess what?
Because it turns out that it's not about black lives and it's not about revamping the system. It's about anarchy. It's about destroying the system.
Right.
It's about taking everything we hold dear and burning it to the ground.
Exactly.
And these soy boys like Justin Trudeau and Eric Garcetti.
Oh, I've got a tweet by Trudeau we'll talk about later when we talk about the truckers.
And the biggest man in American politics, Lori Lightfoot. Yeah, she's the toughest man in politics. And you know what? If you got a problem with that, Vanabla, buddy.
Oh, you've been watching too much Anthony.
I've been watching way too much Anthony Rodilla. But
yeah, Black Lives Matter.
But it turns out they don't really care who they kill.
No, they don't.
They just want to kill people.
They just
you know why? Because they're
peaceful.
Terrorists. Terrorists. They're terrorists. Turns out they Beetlejuice. That's right, Janet.
Oh,
Beetlejuice.
speaking of terrorism, well, that's a weird segue. But I just want to point something out. I'm going to bring it in Friday. I've made a new item. I made a nice fan. So if I get hot in the summer, I can cool off of all my TSA slips when I keep going on the airplanes.
Dude, they don't like
They
TSA.
don't
Doesn't
like me.
TSA doesn't like you.
Whenever I go anywhere, it was Arizona. We went to Dallas. We went to Orlando. I've been to Tallahassee 2 times. Anywhere we've been flying. When I've gone down to Texas for my cousin's wedding. Every time they open my bag and leave me a little note. I think I should start leaving them notes. Just nice.
I
little
don't
hi.
think you should do that.
You know what I'm going to do?
I don't think you should leave TSA a note.
You know what I'm going to do? I have an idea. I'm going to leave them a tic-tac-toe board, and we're going to play every trip. So I'm going to start with an X in my favorite spot, and I'm going to see if they respond.
You want to put an X inside your bag that goes under the plane.
Yeah, X marks the spot.
Yeah, something tells me.
It's a tic-tac-toe. It's tic-tac-toe. I'm going to write tic-tac-toe. It's clearly what it is. They want to open the bag and play games.
My daughter doesn't agree with anything that is said, but she loves Kevin.
oh, okay. Well, it sounds like...
What's not to love about me? I mean, I'm adorable.
Oh, I love this. I love this setup.
Yes.
I love it here.
Yeah, this is what I get for not learning how to control the switcher.
Nope.
This is what I get.
Idea. I get to play games here. It's great.
Yeah, man, Barry.
Barry, what happened? Barry?
Oh,
yes,
boy.
They're all saying, there it is. There it is. Where's Brian Lentz?
And
I need somebody's
big
help
shout
here.
out.
Too.
A big shout out to Joey Star Wars over in Comac.
Oh, yeah, Joey Star Wars.
Turns out I don't even have to go to Comac anymore to influence the good kids.
Yes.
Kept his mask off all day. The police had to be called. Him and 3 other kids. Good for you, kid.
Yeah.
Good for you. You know what? You stood up for what was right.
Joey.
You know what? Good for you.
Joey Star Wars. He did a great job.
Luckily, he had a long trip home.
Yeah. he was in very very brave yesterday, and he's been dying to get involved, and has been at school board meetings. And I know him; he's a great kid, smart kid, great athlete. He loves Star Wars, so obviously that's a plus. May the force be with you, Joey Star Wars. Big shout out. Did a wonderful job fighting and doing the right things. Kids, if you're out there and you're listening, parents, you want to have the conversation with your children about starting to protest. You saw what happened in Washington State. You've seen what's happened in Riverhead. You see what Joey did in Comac yesterday. It's absolutely something that you could talk about.
And look, guys,
do it. I mean, it's going to take the kids to win this battle.
We can't. Obviously, it's up to each individual person what they want to do. And
right.
We're not telling anyone to go cause a scene, or to start a thing. But if you feel strongly enough about it, that's it. Not everyone has to put their neck out there. And I know, a lot of
Jules in Longwood is apparently doing it too, according to Steve there in the chat. So shout out to Jules and
there you go. Well, Jules.
Yeah, we know.
But it's not everyone. Not everyone has the confidence to do that. Nobody wants to stand out in high school.
Jackie DiLorenzo.
Nobody wants to stand out in high school. It's weird. But if you're comfortable with doing it and you want to say it, I promise you, once, it's the prisoner's dilemma. Once one of you does it, you will find allies in your school.
That's it.
I'm sure when Joey did it, he didn't know that the people that would be sitting next to him would be sitting next to him. But you know what?
Riverhead too.
But you know what? I'm proud of you, kid.
Same thing goes
proud of you, kid.
For Noah out in Riverhead, who did that a couple of weeks ago, and apparently Jackie DiLorenzo's 8-year-old out in Connecticut is doing it now. He hasn't worn a mask since Thursday and told the principal that he's protesting. So good for him. I mean, there's a lot of brave kids out there, and you don't all have to do it. I'm not telling you guys.
There's nothing wrong with not doing it.
The's nothing wrong with not doing it.
This is not like a shame thing.
I got to be honest. I probably wouldn't have done it. Back in my day, I wouldn't have done it. First of all, I wasn't one of those conservatives anyway. What about the mask? So I would have
done it, but it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been a protest.
Right.
It would have just
being a pain.
How can I be an asshole today?
Because
that was pretty much what I did during homeroom.
Yes,
I sat around and I was like, what can I do? And I know there are Comac teachers in this chat. There's at least one of them, and right now they're laughing their asses off because they're like, yeah, sure enough. He was an asshole every day. And look, I want you to know I worked very hard at it. If I had worked that hard at trigonometry, things might have been a little bit different. But the hell with that.
Speaking of homeroom, too, by the way, or teachers, not really homeroom, but
teachers.
This story out of Massapequa that we learned about is very suspicious. This issue with wearing a loud majority sweatshirt and that not being acceptable on Dress Down Friday. I don't know what the issue is. I mean, listen, we're going to talk. I'm going to talk with some folks about that, and we'll get all the information. But I'm not happy about it. It is
not a Massapequa school district thing.
No.
It is a teacher union thing.
Yes.
So it's not like we're going to go into Massapequa and run buck wild, because Massapequa has actually been one of the schools leading the way, leading the charge against these things.
Yep.
It's not the school saying it.
It's a union.
It's the teachers union doing it.
Yep.
So if you're out there from NYSET, how you doing? Good to know we're living rent-free in your damn head.
Rent-free,
Rent-free. Tell Randy Weingarten she sucks.
She sucks.
She sucks.
So 8:29, we're there. Vanna White is not, because there is nothing to point to yet, but we will have something. LoudMajorityUS.com, folks. Look at these hoodies. Look at that. I mean, this thing, I'm telling you what, I was on a plane going down to Florida. I had my green Loud Majority Long Island Loud Majority hoodie. Heather, who brilliantly came up with the idea of the green hoodie. No, everybody's gonna want them. We Kevin and I both said nobody's gonna want them, and now I can't take mine off. But I am wearing the black Loud Majority US hoodie today. But I was on the plane. I don't know who this guy was. I wanted to acknowledge him though. Going down to Tallahassee. Saw the hoodie, and as I'm walking down the aisle, I said, yeah, I love your sweatshirt. Now, of course, I had the mask on the airplane because, you got to do it, whatever. I didn't tell him it was me going by, but he was like, yeah, I love it. It was great. I was like, wow, that's awesome. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting on a plane with an ally. It was pretty awesome. But shout out to him. I don't even know his name. I didn't want to get into anything on the airplane, but shout out to him. And you guys, you don't understand it. When people acknowledge your hoodie in public and acknowledge the gear and you understand what you're, you know what it's about. It's a really cool feeling. So head over to loudmajorityus.com, pick some of that up, or get on the newsletter, get on the locals, and find out when we get that new shirt. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be sick.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to be releasing...
OMG?
OMG.
What could that mean?
What could OMG stand for?
I don't know.
Another thing, guys, like I said, head on over to locals, loudmajority.locals.com.
Yes.
We're going to be releasing stuff early there, particularly the event coming up in Queens with my boy, Jimmy O. Jimmy, chat, who could Jimmy O be?
I don't know who Jimmy O is.
I don't know. Let's see who Jimmy O is.
Let's
see if the chat can figure it out. But a big event in Queens Village with Jimmy O. And the new shirt's going to be coming out. I'll be releasing that to the public in, what the hell is today?
Today is Wednesday, so
I'll be
Friday,
releasing that on Monday.
On Monday.
I'll be on Monday.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I can't wait for the chat. It usually takes about 30 seconds for the chat.
Yeah, because it's a little bit of a delay.
Chat, let us know who you think Jimmy O is.
Yep, Jimmy O, chat. And there's Michael John. Oh, we all know who that is. Jimmy Crack Corn. So,
and I don't care.
How's it going up there in Otsego County? I'm excited.
There's my boy. See, Troy, right in the chat. That's
Troy's
the guy. Troy.
Dana got it, but that's not fair.
That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Yeah. Troy actually, my union brother, he was down at the rally in Texas that shouted us out on RCN.
Yes, that was him.
Troy, my union brother.
We love ya.
And don't worry, Troy, if you're at work right now, I promise I'm absolutely not on the clock.
So yeah, let me get back to some. We did some good stuff there.
Troy, call Adam and ask him why he's not watching.
I'm bringing it back to Spygate real quick, just to take one more victory lap for everybody. And we're not assuming victory here. And I want to make one more point absolutely clear. And then we're going to talk about truckers. We're going to talk about truckers big time, because there's a convoy that's starting to set up here. Honk, honk. It's illegal to honk your horns in Ottawa, so they are standing in the streets yelling honk.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Which I'm sorry.
I love Canada.
I'm sorry. Standing in the street and yelling honk has got to be the single most Canadian thing ever. Like,
no, you know what else they did? They played hockey. The street was frozen, and they literally played a pickup game of hockey in the street. The truckers that were protesting played hockey.
Yes, Lisa, we have V-necks for women.
Yes,
but if you go to the categories, it says women's stuff right there. But no, I mean, seriously, yelling honk in the street.
Yes.
Like, the only way that could be more Canadian is if they were riding mooses.
That's the right plural of moose as well. That's correct. It's not me.
What is this?
It's not,
Llama
Oh,
llama?
all right. Let's go back to that tutorial. Kevin wants to know about the llama. So it says happy llama, sad llama. We don't want to say what this one is called because that's not nice. Super llama, drama llama, big fat mama llama, and then you go up top for the moose. Bingo. Bang. That's perfect. It's awesome. You'll learn eventually. You'll get in on that. That's going to be the secret handshake to enter the new digs. If you can't do it, you can't get in.
Oh, I'm on camera.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just
but
just doing that. So
I mean, what? First off, Vladimir Putin, the biggest troll on planet Earth,
Well, he
called
talks about-
Justin Trudeau a tyrant.
Oh, I got to show you the Trudeau tweet as well. So let me get back. Tucker Carlson came out with an interesting quote, and I found it to be just the idea. The more outlandish the claim that Donald Trump made, the truer it seemed to be. Remember, he made the claim that he was wiretapped, and everybody laughed at him. He made the claim that he was spied on, and everybody laughed at him. And we all thought, "Wow, is this guy crazy? Is he something? Is he out of his mind? Maybe he's a little silly." But hey. All I can tell you is for those of you guys that have been following Spygate for this long, and for those of you now who have seen it come out and want those immediate results, I'm telling you right now to just calm down. Because you're not going to see Hillary Clinton go to jail overnight. Okay? I want to correct a behavior that is getting me very upset with regards to Spygate. Okay? There are a lot of people who see this information coming out. It's devastating information. It's the beginning of a series, I believe, of bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. It's going to lead to a whole heck of a lot of corruption being exposed. But the action that is taken is going to rely on our lawmakers and our representatives to do that. And right now, Spygate is back in the news. Right now, we have the ball again. And we can't drop it. It went dormant for a while. Durham doesn't leak information, and I get it. Now we have this information. Okay, we've got it out there. If you expect Hillary Clinton to be hauled out of her house overnight, you're out of your mind. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Okay? If you want to put someone like Barack Obama in prison, Hillary Clinton in prison, Mark Elias in prison, James Clapper, John Brennan, James Comey, any of these players, you're going to need to put together an airtight case. There is no room for the attitude that nothing ever happens, so nothing will happen. There is no room for that anymore. If that is you, and you're going to be pessimistic about this great news that we got, that John Durham is on the right track, if your response is nothing ever happens, you need to turn around and rethink what the hell you're doing. We know nothing ever happens. We know nothing has happened. And that is absolutely a realistic outcome in this case. But to assume that that is the guaranteed outcome, you're already admitting defeat. And for those of you who want to talk about election integrity and who want to talk about election security, who want to talk about this safeguarding our elections, it starts here. But it doesn't happen overnight. If you think you're going to just round them all up and throw them in Gitmo because John Durham is charging another lawyer for lying to an investigator, you don't know how this works. This is going to take time. This is going to take pressure. We're back in the limelight with Spygate. Don't drop the ball. Push. And for your representatives, whether they're in office now and whether they're running, if you care about Spygate as much as I do, ask them, what is their plan? Who are they going to call to testify? What are they going to investigate? What angle are they going to look at? Are they going to look at what happened in Rome? Are they going to look at what happened in London? Joseph Mifsud, where the hell is that guy? Are they going to go down the Papadopoulos angle? Are they going to look at Stefan Halper and Carter Page? Are they going to look into the FISA courts and reform the way that process is? There's a lot of angles they can take. If your representatives are running, if they want your vote and you care about this as much as I do, you make them earn their vote by making them answer the questions about Spygate. Because if we don't fix this, and your candidates have to know this, if they have the idea that one day they're going to run for president, this is going to happen to them too, unless they get out there and fix it now. The information's out there. The resources are out there. Pressure them, ask them, sit with them, meet with them nicely, professionally, and get them to move on this case, because we can fix it here. We can make something happen, but it comes down to us. We, the people, have to apply the pressure to get this work done.
And here's what else is important. Look, it's taken this long for this to come out. Obviously, John Durham is being incredibly meticulous. And here's what a lot of you guys aren't going to want to hear this. But if you don't think people like Hillary Clinton have covered their asses, 1,000 ways from Sunday, I guarantee you, she set this up for there to be a fall guy. The headhunt. What you think she was listening to the wiretaps? She was sitting there with the mic, with the thing on her ear. Come on, these people are not. They may be corrupt, they may be malevolent, they may be ignorant, but they're not stupid. You don't become Hillary Clinton by being a moron. By being, that's just not how things work. You don't get the Clinton Foundation doing all the nasty shit they're doing all over the world by being dumb.
Right.
These people have covered their tracks, which is why it's taken John Durham so long to come to the conclusions that he's ready to release to the public, because he's not going to release circumstantial evidence and then have it come back to bite him. So you know what? This is going to come out drip, drip, drip.
It's going to drip.
But what's most important is
not going to leak.
We need to take the majority in the House and in the Senate.
Yes.
Because if we don't, John Durham will never be called to testify. Jim Jordan.
They won't investigate anything because
Jim Jordan
won't have the
be
committees.
able to call him.
Right.
Jim Banks won't be able to call him. As much as I don't like him,
right.
Lindsey Graham, who will be the chairman of the judiciary in the Senate.
Yep. Yes, he will.
He will not be able to call John Durham to testify. And Lindsey, look, I don't like Lindsey Graham. He's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But you know what? When it comes to things of importance, a Kavanaugh, things like that, he's a procedural guy.
That's what he does best.
And he's going to say, oh, well, I'm calling John Durham to testify.
Yes.
So we need to take the Senate. We need to take the House back. We need to hold on to 1, hold on to 2, take 3. Kathleen Rice, have a good retirement,
good day.
you old hag.
Have a good day.
We're going to take 4. We're going to take 6. We're going to keep Claudia Tenney upstate.
3.
3.
We're going to take 3.
We're
putting
3.
George Santos in 3.
And I know George Santos will take care of everything that needs to happen.
Yeah.
We've chatted about this several times. 4. Could you imagine all 4 seats on Long Island are red?
And you know what's something funny about George Santos? The first day I met him was, I think it was March 21st. And it was the weekend of 2000. It was March 21st of 2019. It was no collusion day in the city. We had a massive Trump rally. 800 New Yorkers came out. I first met George Santos on no collusion day. It was when the Mueller report was finally submitted and Bill Barr left up that summary. And it just comes full circle. I was at that rally because of Spygate. So, I don't want to continue to hit this over and over and over. You guys know how important it is. Spread the word far and wide. Guys, I'm going to be attaching things in the show notes today. A Gateway Pundit article about John Durham.
On a lighter note about John Durham, someone's got to take a different picture of this guy.
Oh, yes, the demon picture outside the
demon
courthouse.
Picture outside it's the only picture does he live in a cave?
I don't know.
Do they not have a
even
high school?
the Gateway Pundit put a blurry picture up of him.
But that's the picture.
Yeah.
Outside the courthouse, just without the courthouse.
Just without the courthouse.
Like, does this man have another photograph? He's gonna come in to testify before the Senate with no goatee. People are gonna go, who the hell is this guy?
They're not gonna know what he looks like. Durham. This article in the Gateway Pundit, I just want to touch on John Durham, and then we'll hit on the truckers. But he's got people cooperating, apparently. More people are coming before that grand jury. Bill Priestap, James Baker, and Dirty Mark Elias have been named in some of these testimonies. This is great. Jim Hoft, founder of the Gateway Pundit, he wrote this article summarizing a Fox News article about it that Kash Patel had played a role in. The source told Fox News Monday that Durham has run his investigation very professionally, and unlike special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, his activities and witness information and cooperation status are rarely, if ever, leaked. Durham does this right and keeps it a secret, adding that there has been much more activity in Durham's investigation than has been visible to the public. So that is great news, because what's been visible is great, big bombshell information in and of itself. So there is more coming, folks. You just got to keep the pressure on, pedal to the metal. I'm not going to let this go. I made the mistake from 2018 to 2020 letting it go, and it absolutely, it went dormant. But it went dormant for the right reasons. It went dormant because John Durham is doing this correctly.
Yeah, we don't want pressure.
And
I want him to take his time.
Right. And one thing I want to say too, we may have our opinions about Bill Barr, but one of the best things he could have done was appointing John Durham as special counsel because now he can run that investigation unobstructed and unopposed. Remember, firing the special counsel, Democrats' rules. These weren't our rules. Remember when Trump was thinking about firing Bob Mueller, right? Firing the special counsel is obstruction of justice.
And also, look, the Durham investigation has been fully funded. He can take as long as he wants, which is why he's taking as long as he wants.
Exactly.
You know, it's been fully funded. Merrick Garland's already said under oath that he's going to let the
special counsel,
that he's going to let John Durham do his thing.
Yep.
You know, so he got pressure from that. So we know that the current Attorney General is not going to stop John Durham from doing what he's doing. The big problem is that there's an entire portion of the country, because of media coverage, who have no idea that this even happened.
They have no
idea. Out of the five liberal networks,
so sad.
Out of the five liberal networks, I forgot who put it up. 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
On CNN.
Of course
that
not.
was it.
Of course they're not going to mention it because they were all in on it.
They're all in
They
on
were
it.
all circularly reporting the same story to get that information to the FBI. You know, and the thing that really fires me up is, folks, what Hillary Clinton did, weaponizing government agencies to spy on Donald Trump. If there were government agencies, folks, you paid for that. That came out of your pocket. That was your tax. Those were your tax dollars at work. And so was the Mueller investigation. And it all comes down to this. It's just so important that we push hard on it. And you know, I think we mentioned that George Papadopoulos is supposed to join us at CPAC. And now I'm even more, now I'm even more fired up.
I'm fired up. I'm fired up to talk to
Spygate, man. This is the focal point of Crossfire Hurricane.
And you know what? They ruined this poor guy's life.
They did.
They you know, I mean, he was just a guy before this.
He was a great foreign policy guy, energy guy.
Yeah, but you know what? They picked him. They picked him out as a fall guy, and I feel terrible for him. I can't imagine what this must have ran him in legal fees. We know that General Flynn went bankrupt.
Yeah.
From all this, you know, now he's out touring the country doing speaking engagements just to keep himself afloat. This is a guy who served the country for 30 years.
Yeah.
And you know he was one of those generals that liked to win.
Yes.
Battles.
Yes, he was not like Milley who likes to punt on first down.
Likes to punt on first down, or as I call it,
the Jets. I like that joke. I like that joke because we keep doing
General
that.
Milley is
the Jets.
General Milley is General Milley is it?
General Milley is the Jets.
The Jets
of
the
generals.
Of generals.
Yes.
Generals.
Folks, just so you know, one more thing on Spygate is if you're reading these documents and you see something referring to Campaign Lawyer 1, that is most likely Mark Elias. We've talked about him. I think
Do we know who Tech Executive 1 is?
No, we don't, but it's apparently a big tech company.
I mean, there's only
internet provider. So they said it might have been a CEO of a tech company. The CEO of a tech company that's an internet provider, not a social media network. So I'm thinking, if it's Trump Tower, right, New York City, I think the internet provider in New York City at that time was Time Warner Spectrum.
Yes.
And listen, that's me theorizing. I don't know, but I know that Time Warner Spectrum is the biggest provider in New York City. I don't think Trump had what's called Comcast. I call him Comcast. You know Comcast? I call him Comcast. I was watching this interview with Trump. It was a press conference back in the COVID day. It was so funny. There was this reporter from NBC, and he was like, "What do you say to the American people that are scared?" And he was like peddling all this hysteria, and Trump just looked at him and went, "You know what I say is you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say." He just bossed this guy. It was great. So, hey, 8:45. Do your Vanna White thing.
Guys, head on over to loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. Pick up your stuff before CPAC because what do we got? A week? We got a week before CPAC. But so anyone going down to CPAC, make sure you get your stuff in now. You just saw Sean run across the little window we have here. Head on over to Facebook. Hit that follow button. Just give it a check. Even if you think you're following, you're probably not. Help us bolster those numbers if you're on Facebook. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, share this out with your friends. Obviously, as you guys saw in the chat, you can't put our website in the comments section because Facebook doesn't like us. You have to spell it out, loud, majority, USDOTCOM, because these people suck. So once again, head on over to loudmajorityus.com, sign up for the newsletter, check out everything we got going. Locals is a big one. Everyone who subscribes over at Locals, $5 a month, will get premium content and the first share at everything we have going on. We've got now the chat knows who they're going to meet if they head on over to Locals and pick up a ticket to the event we have in Queens in a month. We got a whole lot going on. We're working on a New York City protest for the end of March alongside Turning Point USA. What do we got going on Saturday, Sean? What do we got going on? Saturday, 12 o'clock at the Dennison Building. Susan over at the Smithtown Huntington Patriots doing a trucker donation setup. We'll get the information for that over there. Where the hell did he go? But we lost Sean for a little bit. So, once again, guys, head on over to loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for that newsletter. Smash that follow button on Facebook. And just back to the Durham investigation real quick. Like I was saying before, I don't like the fact that a lot of the major players in this probably won't go to jail. You know, and I think that Donald Trump was right when he said in a stronger time there would have been death penalty sentences.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we just happen to not be. We just happen to not be in different circumstances, different time. You know, and look, I really don't want to live in a country where we start hanging people in the streets.
No, I don't want to live in that country either.
This is not, you know, the French Revolution where they're cutting off Louis the 16th's head.
No, I don't want to live in that country either. And I also don't want to live in a country where you spy on people running for office.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? No, I'm saying, you know, both.
Yeah.
So there will have to be some sort of resolution, and we're looking forward to it. But hey, I got some cool. I got a funny story here. Well, not a funny story, but a great story. Rasmussen reports 59% of U.S. voters support the Canadian truckers in the Freedom Convoy protest. So 59% of the United States. So you know, it's 60%. Essentially telling you that they support removing mandates. That's what that means to me.
Absolutely.
Because who the hell wants to do this forever?
I'm done with it.
I mean, aren't you done? Or how many people
again,
are there that find that tweet?
But look, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I've been done for today's day 701.
I've been done since day one.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I gave him 2 weeks.
15 days to slow the
I'm
spread.
like, you know what? All right, I'll give you some time to figure this out. See what's going on. See what's going on. But then after maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I was
just about had enough here.
I'm pretty much done with this.
So Justin Trudeau tweeted back in May of 2012, why we like to go all the way back. Here's the tweet. When a government starts trying to cancel dissent or avoid dissent is when it is rapidly losing its moral authority to govern. Harper in 2005. This is Justin Trudeau. You don't say.
You don't say.
Don't say.
By the way, I just want to be very clear.
Soy boy.
I just want to be clear. Justin Trudeau is absolutely
not Castro's son.
Castro's illegitimate son.
Not.
Let's be clear. I'm going to say it again. Just Justin Trudeau is not.
Justin Trudeau
is not.
Is not.
Is not. The illegitimate son of Fidel Castro.
Is not.
He's definitely the illegitimate son of Fidel Castro.
He is, yeah. I think
He's
so.
definitely.
I think that's what happened.
I think he is.
I think it's what happened.
It's a globalist plan to squish America.
He might actually be, you ready for this? He might actually be an Illuminati, satanic, Freemason.
I think it was 3.
No, there was 4.
No, it was 3.
Oh, it was those 3, yes.
Yeah.
And all 4 Neils were that.
All
Do you
4
remember
Neils.
the 4 Neils?
Yes. It was. Actually, we added a 5th Neil.
Okay.
Neil Young.
Yes.
Neil Diamond.
No, but Neil Young was the 4th Neil.
Okay.
So go ahead, start again.
Neil Diamond.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong was number 1.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, Neil Diamond.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, correct.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. That's right. We added him later.
So now Neil Young is now number 5.
Neil number 5.
Neil
yes.
number 5.
And yes, we don't kneel for the flag.
We don't kneel for the flag.
So
it's really he's Neil 6.
Neil 6, right. So that's great. Let's go, Brando. I like that. Canada. So this is Trudeau's tweet. When a government starts trying to cancel dissent or avoid dissent is when it's rapidly losing its moral authority to govern. You don't believe me that he tweeted that? I could do this thing called a window capture on OBS, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. There it is. Justin Trudeau. Bang. You see that? When a government starts trying to cancel dissent or avoid dissent is when it's rapidly losing its moral authority to govern. There you have it, folks. What more needs to be said?
What about Bob and Neil?
Now I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Now he's towing away the truckers. Canceling dissent, avoiding dissent, punishing dissent.
By the way,
freezing the bank accounts.
I was
Toronto Dominion, TD Bank.
He just did. TD Bank froze an account with $1.1 million in it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, where do you... whatever.
But
where do you get the balls to just do like?
Right.
And I love the fact that the Deputy Prime Minister of Canada is an American journalist.
Oh, of course. Isn't that just perfect? Isn't that just put a nice little bow on this one? By the way, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, the CBC, I guess is what it's called here.
Yes.
The left has found a new F word. It's apparently a word that has been used among far right groups. Would you like to take a guess at what that word is?
I'm going to. I can tell from the sign.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Freedom.
It's freedom. That's a far right term now.
Freedom is a far right.
Freedom
term.
is a far right term. So I guess we should have expected this to happen. Town hall article. It's a town hall article. I got it off BonginoReport.com. We'll be in the show notes. We'll go through this quick. I guess we should have expected this to happen. COVID is over. The pandemic is over. The arsenal to combat it or deal with its symptoms is substantial. It's endemic. Natural immunity is a real thing. It has a 99+% survival rate. It's time to end all the mandates. No more masks. No insane and creepy obsession with penetrating the masses with the COVID vaccine. Enough. The truckers in Canada get it. They were cleared off the Ambassador Bridge during the Super Bowl yesterday, but they're still honking in Ottawa. Okay? In the U.S., there's a freedom convoy revving up here as well. The destination being Washington, D.C. More on that on Friday. This is about freedom and civil rights. The left cannot manufacture any more COVID panic porn. We're all desensitized. We're all so sick of it. Most, if not all, the panic scenarios came to fruition. Most, if not all, the so-called advice was science fiction. So with no place to go, the left says the quiet part out loud regarding their true agenda. They're attacking freedom. It's their new F word, and this is via the CBC. The word freedom has now become common among far-right groups. Here you go. Far-right groups. Freedom is now a far-right idea. And what do they do to far-right ideas? They cancel them. They want to cancel freedom, and it is absolutely, it's, look at your face. You're very puzzled.
Well, I'm reading this damn thing, and all I'm thinking to myself is, it's so funny. So one of my cousins, you know him.
Yes.
I was talking to him. He doesn't care about politics. If you asked him who the president was, I doubt he could even tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And I told him,
a great story.
One day, this will come around to your world. One day it'll come around to your world. In some way, some shape, some form. Doesn't matter who you are. Maybe you don't care about politics, but you watch The Guiding Light. And your favorite actor got canceled because of a tweet he put out 10 years ago. It's in your world. Well, the other day, did you know that cryptocurrency is only used by white supremacists?
Yep,
so he sends me over this article of this idiot at the CBC talking about how cryptocurrency is now a form of white. I don't know nothing about cryptocurrency.
Well, that's one.
I don't get it. I don't think it's real. I think some guy in Taiwan is going to rob every single one of you. But you know what? Do your thing. Have a party. Sell your Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin, right?
No, that's not a Bitcoin because I don't see $44,000.
Well, yeah,
but that's how they were funding. You know, that's because that's partly how they were funding the trucker movement.
If you're not into politics,
it will find you.
It will find you in some way because the left can't stop eating.
Mike Loftus shared a meme. This is not a political thing, sort of. You're not in politics for it, but it was a picture of like the guy's getting hung in the gallows. I don't know if you saw it. The Loftus Party Facebook page. Give that a follow, folks, because we love Mike Loftus. But ready? It was a guy with the noose. It was the Lord of the Rings. Apparently something's going on with Tolkien. They're changing Lord of the Rings. They're adding like a black dwarf or something to them. I don't know. Something's happening.
You're
to Lord
definitely
of the
not
Rings.
allowed to say that word.
They're doing. Yes, you can say dwarf. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So
Peter Dinklage is very upset by that.
Oh, whatever. Peter Dinklage, whatever. Tyrion Lannister. But they're doing this. They're doing this whole thing with Tolkien and Lord of the Rings right now. Apparently they're wokeifying Lord of the Rings, which is like, wow, you shouldn't be doing that. But the Lord of the Rings fans are all outraged over it. And you just see a Star Wars fan with the noose on his neck and he's saying, first time, huh? Because it will find everybody. You made me go berserk one morning over the Jedi thing.
Yeah.
Because the term Jedi, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, is you can't do it because Jedi in Star Wars were too, I don't even know what it was. I don't want to get back into that. That's bad.
Yeah.
So just to get me out of that thing. But the truckers, man.
You tell people who don't listen to politics, and maybe they don't want to hear it. You go to their house, family, friends, whatever, they don't want to talk about politics. All you got to say to them is, don't worry, one day it will come to you. We saw it I got friends who watch The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand how people that pretty could be that sad all the time. But sure enough, Chris Harrison, the host of The Bachelor, like 6 months ago, he got canceled. One of the people on The Bachelor got canceled for tweets or comments from 10 years ago, whatever that was.
Sure, yeah.
The world, it will come to your world in one way or another. It doesn't matter when, but eventually it will creep into something. We saw it happen with Gamergate.
Yeah. Oh,
Gamergate. No, the gamers don't care about politics.
No.
But sure enough, the woke infested that 7-8 years ago.
Yep.
And that is when you started to see the rise of these culture warriors, the Shapiros, the Bonginos. One guy who got very involved in Gamergate, whose name I'm not going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
yes.
he started to see these because they were like, whoa, keep your weird crap in college. Leave it off my video games.
Right.
The world, the left can't stop eating. So you just tell people that don't want to hear about politics, don't want to hear about Trump or Biden or whatever, you tell them, don't worry. One day it'll come to you.
It'll find you.
It'll find you.
And because it is.
Does.
And listen, and even in Canada now, the CBC, here's what it was. You think it's out of context. This is direct. For many, freedom is a malleable term. Freedom is freedom. All right? There's nothing malleable about it. One that's open to interpretation. Listen to, this is state media, folks. Listen to them talk. This is scary. Imagine your media coming on saying freedom is open to interpretation. What? That flexibility in part has fueled its growth among certain groups, said Barbara Perry, director of the Center of Hate, Bias, and Extremism at the Oshawa-based Ontario Tech University.
What was that again? What was that? Go back up again.
The director
of the center. First off, that's not how you spell the word center. But the director of the Center of Hate, Bias, and Extremism.
Yes.
Or as I call it, a professional useless person.
Yes, that's what that sounds like to me.
Traffic cones are more useful.
Yes, and I hit traffic cones all the time. So you look at this lady, listen to this quote. It is a term that has resonated. You can define it and understand it and sort of manipulate it in a way that makes sense to you and is useful to you depending on your perspective, she told Cross Country Checkup. It is also a term that has thrived among far-right groups, said Perry, one of a number of experts who say the presence of far-right groups in Canada is growing. Evan Baglord, executive director of the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, says that the way many protesters frame their calls for freedom renders the word meaningless, and what they're really asking for is a shift in government policy that could potentially have a negative impact on others. Quote, when they're yelling they care so much about freedom, they're taking freedoms away from other people who don't have the same kind of agency and choice they do. Once again, I want to hit pause. I want to tell you to do two things, and then I'm going to tell you to go to the website, and then I'm going to tell you we'll see you on Friday. Okay? Here's the deal. There we go. I think I just bumped. I'm messing around with the switcher because I don't see what's happening. The left will always accuse you of doing what they themselves are doing. How many times have you heard about equality? How many times have you heard about freedom? How many times have you heard about liberty coming from the left? How many times have you heard about a threat to democracy or Russian collusion or all of these different things among the left, right? Racism, all of it. Here it is. When they, and I'm speaking for me now, and I'm going to use his quote, when they, the left, are yelling that they care so much about freedom, they, the left, are taking freedoms away from other people who don't have the same kind of agency and choice that they do. These teachers don't have to wear masks in photo ops, but if the kids take them off, they get carted off to ISS in these schools. These celebrities don't have to wear a mask at the Super Bowl, but their children, if they were attending public schools, did. I bet none of them do, right? Think about that every single time they do it. And now I want to tell you to watch the interview Tucker Carlson did with Bill Nye the Science Guy. And I want you to listen to how Bill Nye describes what Tucker's doing in terms of being a climate denier, how he rejects a certain worldview and rejects the experts that are perpetuating that worldview and attacks their science. And think about what the left has done to COVID, to doctors like Dr. Malone and Dr. McCullough and people like Rogan, who I don't like, but what they're doing to him is wrong. And people that have gotten banned off social media for saying masks don't work. And now all of a sudden we find out that that's what they're saying too, 2 years later, and how far ahead of the curve we were. I want you to watch that Tucker interview with Bill Nye the Science Guy, and I want you to understand, I'm going to put this town hall article in the show notes, and I want you to read it and understand that when they say that we're taking away freedoms by calling for it, that's exactly what they're doing, and this is what they do all the time. Hold them to their own standards, because if you don't, we're going to lose. This is it. I mean, this fight now in New York State, to bring it back to the local level, to bring it back to what we're doing with Lee Zeldin in New York State. If we don't go all in the next 8 months, this is our last chance in New York. I firmly believe that. I'm not being hyperbolic. We have to win in 2022, and I think we will, especially if Andrew Cuomo decides to run as an independent.
Did we get booted off YouTube?
I don't know what happened. We might have got shut off YouTube. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens, though. Let's wrap it up, I guess.
Guys, head on over to
I don't think so, though.
loudmajorityus.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. All sorts of fun stuff over there. Hit that follow button on Facebook. Even if you think you are following, you're probably not. Help us out over there. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on anything we got going on. Check us out on the Instagram at The Loud Majority. Locals at loudmajority.locals.com for all the stuff before it gets put out to the public. Don't miss out on that. With Mr. Jimmy O.
Yep.
Jimmy O himself.
Yep.
Coming to Queens.
Coming to Queens.
And I'm getting something very nice.
It's going to be very nice.
From the Queens Village
and
Republic.
YouTube is back, by the way. It was just OBS.
YouTube is still here, guys. Yeah. So check out loudmajority.locals.com for all the stuff before it goes out to the public. Guys, we got a week till CPAC, and I promise you, CPAC's going to be wild. You're going to meet, you guys are going to get to see all of the people you love. I promise you, we've spent the last 2 years cultivating relationships all over the country.
This is for
this is the time that you guys will be able to meet those you love.
That's right.
Miss Green, Mr. Gates.
Yes.
Mr. O'Keefe.
Mr. O.
Mr. O. Jimmy O. If he was from Boston in the 70s, they'd call him Jimmy O.
And we'll see if there's other folks that come by, too.
Plenty.
We'll see what goes on. CPAC's going to be a great time if you're there. Folks, so we've been on nice. It's 9:05. Thanks again for joining us. First day in the new digs. We're still getting used to a couple of things, but we're going to be working out the kinks as it goes forward. But I love it here. I love the setup. It's the America First Media Campus. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on right around this. You know where we're at. You know what's going on. The America First Warehouse. We got all sorts of cool stuff going on right here. This is going to be the heart of all the patriotic action on Long Island. It's going to start here. It's going to end here. We're going to be what it runs through. So thank you guys for joining in. We appreciate it. And until Friday, folks, we got to do it. We got to say the 4 words. The first time we're saying the 4 words in the new digs, right? So in the face of tyranny, overreach, whether it's from Canada and soy boys like Justin Trudeau, or it's a crazy Kathy Hochul who decided, we're just going to extend the emergency powers. We repeat these 4 words over and over and over again until the people in power either get it or get the hell out of our way. And those 4 words are that if we do not consent, right? We will not comply. Thank you, chat. I see you guys lighting it up down there. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America. Stop complying and stay loud.